Yeah, Kaden, I appreciate you on taking the time to join us here. And when we were talking in the production meeting about recruiting and everything like that, and I thought it would be a lost cause if we didn't bring you on. You've had the opportunity. Right now, you're a sophomore at IMG, going into your senior year this season coming up. You had
You skipped grade.
18 scholarship offers. And right now, the start of June and everything. I was just in LA and I hung out with you guys. We crushed some Popeyes chicken and all that. Your mom wasn't supposed to know that. But we did all that, and then you guys hit the recruiting trail the next day. So you were at Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. Now you're here in East Lansing. What is this recruiting process like? Because it's a lot different from when any of us were recruiting. So what is that recruiting process like for you right now?
The recruiting process is definitely extremely unique. We were just at Georgia, then we went to Alabama, and then we went to Tennessee. Being able to see the difference between every single school, even though it's the same conference, every school is very unique in itself. Georgia, we saw really good facilities. And really what you want to look for when you go to a school is who is down for you as a person after football, not just as looking at you as a football player. And then you want to look at how has this coach developed the position that you play, and how can this coach get you to that next level?
Yeah, that's a very good point there. And today you were here at Michigan State. So how do the SEC facilities and everything compare to what's going on here in Michigan State?
I would say I'm trying to get a charger. Okay, I would say that in the SEC, they have a lot of money, so their facilities are always going to be top notch, no matter what school it is. Georgia, especially, their facilities are brand new. It's the best in the country, I would say. Alabama has a brand new weight room now, and it's really nice. It's really like IMG a lot, but being at a high school like IMG, they already have everything that you are going to have in college. And then going to Tennessee, they have everything, and their strength coach is very position based with his lifts. So it's going to develop you as an offensive lineman, and everyone is going to be on a different program depending on what position they play. And then at Michigan State, they're building a new facility, and their strength coach used to be at IMG, so he's very familiar with the way that I work out now, and that's always awesome to see.
All right, Kaden, talk about your visit today. You've grew up pretty much on campus here at Michigan State. You've seen this, during the D'Antonio era. Been in the booth, been on the sideline. You watched guys like Le'Veon Bell on the sideline with his hand with holes in it. So you've seen a lot of players up close. You've been in the locker room, the training room, got more equipment than Jehuu, which is impossible. What have you seen today that makes you feel like, is Michigan State on par? Can they be on par with the SEC schools that you've seen last week?
Okay, so today we watched the video of the new facility that's under construction right now. Their new program and their new facility that's about to be put in is top notch. Things that are similar to the SEC that they have that I saw in the video are they have a turf hill that runs up to the weight room, and that's exactly what Georgia had. And so seeing, that's kind of where I go to when I was trying to bring up the topic of seeing similarities. So when I see these similarities, then I can compare by the schools and what they have. And really, Michigan State's about to have everything that an SEC school has in as far as a weight room and a locker room and all the flood pools and the cold tubs and the hot tubs. So it's all just formatted differently. That's really the biggest difference. And, really what it comes down to is the staff. You need to figure out which staff wants you the most and which staff is ready to, go to bat for you no matter what happens, win or lose.
Yeah, Kaden, you from a standpoint, people don't really understand your work ethic and obviously the commitment and sacrifices that you're going through right now. You know, one, you're away from your family who live in California and you're in Florida. You know, talk about just the opportunity to truly grow at a young age and able to prepare you for when you do come to whatever school you select. Is it an advantage? Talk about that full, you know, regimen and schedule that you're going through right now as you're living away from your family. And then, you know, I know you're back for the summer with your family, but just talk about the whole thing right there.
So yes, sir. So basically what I would say is, you know, moving away from my family as only a 16-year-old, you know, it's a big move. And, you know, when you do it so young, it's just like getting the jitters out on the first hit of a football game. You know, you do it and it's done. So when you go to college, it's easy. And all you got to do is be prepared to grind because you already know what it's like to live on your own. So living on my own for 3.5 years at a school like IMG Academy is perfect because, you know, when you go to college, it's the same thing. So, you know, football is a business and you have to be ready to contribute to that business.
Damn. Hey, listen, this man has been in the basement with Papa Stray like, no, I'm talking about like you've been watching him on Spartan Media Network just talking on that radio and that video, man, like smooth. He's a smooth operator, isn't he?
Right. So, Kaden, so you talked about, so we got guys come from IMG, like we have Jordan Hall that's here, and from his time coming in the spring, watching him in the spring game, and now I said Jordan Hall is a kid that can go out there and play and contribute this fall, just with that semester at East Lansing. How does IMG prepare a kid for college? I know you went into that a little bit, but like from X's and O's, weights, and that mental academics, that mental side of things with football. How does that prepare a student to go to college?
Okay, I'm gonna be 100% real. You know, IMG is not easy. You know, when I went to, for example, my University of Miami's spring practice, their first practice, and I watched my old teammate Francis Mao go through the practice. He was the only offensive lineman that was able to get through that practice due to the fact that he's trained just like that at IMG Academy. You know, you go, you know, team stretch, it's long. You know, it's 20 minutes. Same thing in college, right? Then you're gonna go to inside run, all these, you know, base reach drills in the corner with your O-line coach in Indy. All these things is the same thing as any program in college, you know, especially the elite ones. So when you go through this, and especially as a guy like me that's been to IMG for 3.5 years, and a guy like Jordan Hall, you know, when you go to college, it's easy and you're ready to just showcase what you can do. You're in shape, you're mentally prepared, and you're physically capable.
Yeah, and so with that,
I'm about to say, sign this man right now.
Right, sign this man. Give this guy his call. So I know we talk to your dad. We give him grief. We tell him, hey, you know, get your kids here, everything like that. Legacy. That's the word that's thrown around all the time. But at the end of the day, he says the same thing. Your mother says the same thing. It's yours and your brothers and your sisters, because all three of you are talented and are going to play at the next level. So what advice do they give you?
Ooh, we put you on the spot, Kaden.
I would say, you know, it's not about, you know, going to the national championship winning team. It's not about, you know, setting records, even though, you know, we might be physically capable of doing that. What my parents have always taught us is to be the best version of you. So when I'm going to go into a workout, right, I'm going to be the best version of me in that gym, and I'm not going to be outworked ever, because effort is not, you know, you don't need talent to have effort. So when you have that talent and you don't work hard, I mean, then effort beats you. But when you have talent and you put that effort in, you cannot be beat. And, you know, you want to be where your feet are. So if I'm in a classroom, I'm worried about the classroom. If I'm at practice, you cannot be worried about homework or anything. You got to be where you are, you know, where your feet are. That's practice. So let's practice, you know. So, you know, my parents have distilled that in us, and especially faith. You know, we have faith. Me, my brother and sister, my dad, he's taught that to us because due to the fact that his dad was a preacher. So my granddaddy has always taught me that, you know, whenever you're in a rough time, when I'm at IMG and I miss my mom or I miss my little sister or my brother, I just look to God, you know, and sometimes you just have to take a moment and breathe it all in. And you don't want to get too high or too low. You got to stay medium, you know, and God and, you know, family is the main two things in me and my brother and sister's lives. So that's very important. And just being where you are, this is what Nick Saban always preaches: be where your feet are. Like right now, I'm in this interview, so I cannot be worried about anything else but this interview, and that's where I'm locked in at. So yeah.
So you have 18 scholarship offers. So I wouldn't be me. I would lose my media badge if I didn't ask the tough question. Is MSU in your top 18?
They looked to the side like, Kaden, like I met you when you were like, little jit, like you still had the fluffy baby fat, and y'all were making the grins and football and stuff. And when did it click for you? Like when did it click where you were like, listen, I know I have the pedigree, I know I'm a Strayhorn, but like when it clicked for you where you're like, listen, I'm better, bigger, faster than obviously Michigan where you were living at, and like you needed another challenge. When did that click for you, when you were coming up playing football?
Okay, so in 9th grade, we actually drove by IMG Academy, and my mom had said, "Oh, this is school, IMG Academy." I was like, "Oh, I want to go there." And she said, "Okay, when we get back to my Nana's house, let's check it out." And so we seen it, and the tuition is nothing to play around with. So my mom said, and you could ask her. I looked in her eye and I said, "Oh, I'm a go." So during COVID in 7th grade, when we were doing online school, every day after school, I would go to Barwis and I would just work out. And I just got like extremely strong for a middle schooler. I went to these mega camps and just started blowing up. And I heard from all these people that were interviewing me about my dad. Oh, he was so strong. He was the strongest on the team. He was the best player. He did all these things. He would have been great. He was great. And seeing all these things, I like to reflect on my dad's career and make sure all the mistakes I learned from, all the mistakes that he made, I am not going to make, because I had that mentor in my life. And that's why it's so important to have somebody that's been there before, and so much of a blessing to have a dad that's been there before, because he can tell you straight up whenever you need, like, no, don't do that, do this instead. And I'm a very process-driven guy. So when you give me a plan, I'm glad I'm going to do the work and I'm going to complete it. So when I was given that opportunity after my freshman season at IMG for IMG Academy, I jumped on it right away and I was ready to go. I was ready to work. And, it's been a blessing for me and my family. When you go to a school like that, you're gonna have ups and downs, and there's gonna be times where they're messing with your head, but you have to be mentally smart, and that's where that faith kicks in. And after this year and a half, I'm ready to show the world what I can do this junior season.
Yeah, Kaden, if we just took this clip and didn't do the intro and didn't say you're playing at IMG and you play this for someone, they would say, well, this is a guy in his junior year in college, with how mature you are and everything like that. You're just, 16 years old?
I just turned 17 a couple months ago.
Just turned 17. Okay, yeah, but at the end of the day, you're still a kid. So what do you like to do for fun? Like, what's your favorite food? I know you can crush Popeyes. I know that. The gold pepper wings and those strawberry biscuits. Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. But what type of music do you listen to?
Me and my dad has always played the oldies, like Biggie, Tupac, all those types of guys. Recently, I listened to the Baby, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, all those newer generational guys.
All the littles.
Yeah.
So that, and then we always listen to a little bit of gospel as well.
Okay, and what about movies? What's your favorite movie? What genre? Anything like that?
My favorite movie is Creed, because I feel like sometimes I am him. Seeing, people say, oh, you're there because of your dad. Your dad did this and that. At the end of the day, I'm the one on the field doing the work. And so I feel where Creed is coming from. And that's why that movie, I feel that's a movie I look to for motivation.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you do an impersonation of your dad?
No.
Good answer.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna see you tonight.
No. So I want to ask him a question. Just so today, because I was privy to be in the meeting today. You met with Coach Tucker. You came away from that, enlightened about his talk. Tell the guys here how that talk went and what did Mel say to you that spoke to you?
So we all sat down, and my mom asked Mel, he said, if Kaden was your son going through the recruiting process, what would you tell him to look at while he goes to these schools? And he immediately said, well, Mr. Strayhorn, I would tell him to look at, every single school has trophies. Every single school has, the fancy things, the shiny things. Every single school has the best facility. They're always going to build a new facility every year. It's just how it goes. But you need to look at the school that loves you the most, because if they love you and you go to a coach that's willing to run through a brick wall for you, and he goes, who was your favorite Little League coach? And he goes, see how your face just lit up? He said, a player that likes the coach is willing to play for that guy, play his heart out. So, and he trusts that guy, and it's important to trust your positional coach. So he said, look for that coach that loves you and that staff that loves you, where you feel like you can be the best version of Kaden that you can be. And hearing that, it really touched my heart. And, I've been thinking about that ever since I left campus.
So, Kaden, what we want you to do is we want you guys to pack up tonight, get back on your flight, don't visit any more schools. This is the last stop for you.
It's a process.
No, but Kaden, seriously though, really appreciate you jumping on. You're wise behind your age.
You talk better than me, so
right
now.
Yeah. So no matter where you go, no matter what school you choose, good luck to you. And we know you're going to find success, and we will always be rooting for you.
Oh, thank you guys. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Hey, happy birthday.
All right.
Should we do that?
We got a picture?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
Hey.
Should we do the Stevie Wonder?
Over at the Pizza House.
Should we do the Stevie Wonder happy birthday?
Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Awesome.
These guys are off the Richter scale.
Awesome.
Hey, great job, son. As I know you always like to do, man. Hey, look.
Man, listen,
I didn't have to coach him up.
Man, I feel like you gave him something because look.
No,
I don't know.
This is how many interviews have you done today?
This is like my 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does
natural.
that.
Natural.
He's a great kid.
Absolutely.
I'm not just saying that because I'm his dad.
And that boy can
love you, son.
That boy can crush Popeyes, boy. You see me eat a chicken wing, you just see this boy eat.
Look, he learned out. He's like, man, my mama watching. You just got him in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Crushing Popeye.
Yeah, no, man, that was absolutely great interview, a well-rounded kid. Kudos to you and Alicia, for the family you're raising, not just Kaden, but Cody as well as Gabby.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, and all 3 of those kids are going to be playing at the next level.
You guys got some coming too. We're gonna be watching.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, it's a process.
It's a process.
Just be where your feet are. Tell the girls that right now.
Yes.
Well, I know we got Father's Day coming up, but man, like it's a beauty to see it in full out, in front of everything, where you're balancing a lot of stuff, working and getting, man, you sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
You and Alicia have sacrificed a lot to put them at this point. So appreciate it, man.
You see this guy's flight pattern and fall. He's like here. He's lazy, call the game, go back there.
Yeah, but we do whatever it takes to put them in the best position to be able to succeed. And it does hurt sometimes, but we're willing to sacrifice. This isn't about me; it's about them.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to do whatever it is. And Alicia, their mother, my wife is willing to do whatever as well. So it works that way. As long as you got a good partner, we're all focused. Just like Coach D used to tell you guys, we're all going. That's it. That's it. We're going in the same direction.
Yes.